Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shenanigans Show. So, a little bit of context for this video. I tried to record a getting back into anime video for Delicious in Dungeon, and then I also tried doing one for Blood of Zeus. Both of those ended up falling through a little bit, just because when I was trying to record it, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even really remember. But something was acting up with the recording or the editing part, or whatever. Something was acting up, so I didn't get around to actually doing getting back into anime episodes for those two animes, Delicious in Dungeon and Blood of Zeus. So I decided that since this is the monthly Thursdays video before Anime Expo, I figured that this would be a good time to discuss those two animes, since the actual getting back into anime episodes for those, I couldn't actually do them because they kept falling through the actual recording part, but I still wanted to discuss them. So first up, Delicious in Dungeon. I feel like this is a really good turn off your brain, silly, goofy anime. There are some serious overtones to it, some more serious overtones, some darker overtones and themings in this anime, but it definitely is a silly, goofy, turn off your brain, as I said, type of anime. And it's really fun. As of right now, when I'm recording this episode, all of Delicious in Dungeon is not out yet. I think there are 18 episodes out, roughly 17 to 18 episodes out in total out of 24 episodes, but I'm caught up with the episodes that are currently out, and I do really like it. And I think this is the first anime that I've started watching for this series. This was the first anime that, even though I'm enjoying it, I'm liking it, I'm not necessarily falling in love with it, head over heels in love with it. I'm not gonna shout it as a recommendation for people. I'm not gonna be constantly recommending it like I would with some of the others, like Heaven Official Blessing, and then to a lesser extent Yashahime. So this was the first anime where it's yes, I'm enjoying it, but not as much as other animes that I watched for getting back into anime, the series, and then just in general. But it is a really good anime. It is a really fun one as well, and I would recommend it. It is a really fun anime to watch, and on the one hand I would recommend it, but it comes with the caveat of you really do have to shut your brain off to it at some points and not really think too hard about it. There was at least one scene, one creature, where I was I don't want to give too much away just because, I don't know how far along some people are with it, but there was one character design that I didn't really vibe with. I didn't really like that they went that route, but at the same time it kind of makes sense, so I'm not too upset by it. And Delicious in Dungeon you can watch on Netflix, so if you are interested in watching it, feel free to go for it. Just remember, 90% of it is silly, goofy, turn off your brain, as I've said quite a few times at this point, with some darker, more serious overtones. And then to talk about the second anime, and then to talk about the second anime, Blood of Zeus. Again, this was another anime where it's I was enjoying it. It took me the second watch through to finally get into it, because I watched season 1 back when it first came out in 2020, I think. I liked it for what it was, but I just couldn't really get into it. And I saw that there was a season 2 coming out. There is a season 2 coming out in May. It's already out by the time this video is up. I just figured that because there's an author I follow on Instagram who really likes the show, and because there's a season 2 coming out, I figured why not give it another shot, give it another chance. And I did really enjoy it. Again, it was just another anime where it's yes, I enjoyed it. I'm not necessarily loving it, but I enjoyed it. It's good for what it is. I'm not gonna be recommending it to everyone and anyone. First off, before I get into spoilery territory for it, first off, one thing that I really did not like about season 1 though is the way they portrayed Hera. And I'm not saying that you can't have Hera be angry, be jealous of the fact that Zeus is sleeping around. It's totally valid what she's feeling, what she's going through, But I didn't like how the creators of Blood of Zeus made her out to be such a bitch and so evil. And it's again, it's understandable why she would be jealous, but it wasn't necessary to take her to that extent. And if you've watched all of season 1, you understand what I'm getting at. Something I would have understood better is if she just decided to not engage at all because she just had gotten so jealous and so angry over the centuries of being married to Zeus that she just decided to not react at all, not help, not hinder, but like just not be involved in any way, shape, or form, even with everyone asking her. Like, I would have understood a plot line like that where she was just not getting involved. But what they did in the show, I feel like it was a little bit too extreme and really did Hera a disservice, because it's like she really did not need to be made out to be such a bitch. Slight spoiler, and I'll have the banner up on the screen so you can just skip to when the banner disappears for this. For the ending of season 1, I really do feel like it was a cop-out to have Zeus and Hera die. I am all for having plot lines where the gods are not as invincible, like they can be hurt and they can be killed, but I just felt like it was a little bit of a cop-out to have Zeus and Hera be killed at the end of season 1 instead of like giving them like a redemption learning arc, because Zeus did start to learn kind of near the end of season 1. He did start to learn where he went wrong and why he went wrong, and he did start to try to redeem himself. Hera, you do also get a little bit of a hint of like, shit, I fucked up at the end when she sees Zeus trying to save her. So I do feel like it was a little bit of a cop-out to have them both die instead of giving them a redemption arc, a full redemption arc. That was something that did kind of upset me about the ending, but overall I did enjoy it. It was a fun anime, a little bit darker, more gruesome, but that's totally fine. And something I do enjoy when it's done well, there were parts of like the gore and gruesome where I feel like it wasn't necessary to go to the extent that they did, but at the same time it did fit as a whole within what the Blood of Zeus anime was and the image and the aesthetics of it all. It did fit, but it wasn't necessarily needed. So that's it for this video. I know it was short, but just because Delicious in Dungeon, that anime is not fully out, and The Blood of Zeus, there's only one season out and there's a second season coming up, and I really didn't want to get too much into spoiler territory with either of these because they're still being fleshed out. The stories are still being fleshed out in the world. So video on the shorter side, but I think that's good leading into Anime Expo videos. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.